Scrutiny suppression is where someone tries to obstruct people from questioning or disagreeing with a claim by being evasive or abusive, or even trying to harm the people doing the questioning or disagreeing. Go and check out our first 2 videos that go into more depth on scrutiny suppression if you haven't already. But people like this usually can't be persuaded. They're normally motivated reasoners, after all. They're motivated by something other than truth, so their behavior can't be changed by showing that their claims aren't true. So, what can you do about this sort of behavior? It turns out that laws on drink driving provide an important clue. How? Let's find out. Drink driving has been a problem since the car was first invented, and there have been laws against it for a long time. But it can sometimes be difficult to prove whether a person is drunk enough to have broken the law. It's possible for a person who's had enough alcohol to be an unsafe driver to seem quite normal. So the police can use a breath test or a blood test. This will accurately tell how much alcohol is in a person's system and whether it's over the legal limit. But what if a person refuses to take the test? If someone thinks that he or she might be over the limit, after all, why would he or she want to help to prove that? Because of this, a lot of states and places around the world have made it illegal not to take the test. The consequences for the driver of refusing to take the test are the same, or sometimes even worse, than being convicted of drink driving. This means that there's never a motive to refuse to take the test. A person refusing to take the test is very similar to a scrutiny suppressor. He or she doesn't want the truth to be found out by accurate, rigorous testing, and so tries to obstruct that testing. You don't actually have to make scrutiny suppression illegal to apply the same principle to it. The important thing is to make the consequences of suppressing scrutiny at least as bad, if not worse, for the scrutiny suppressor as the consequences of the claim being scrutinized and failing. What does this mean? As we explored in our video on motivated reasoning, somebody suppressing scrutiny is usually doing so because he or she wants to get people to believe things, even if they're not true. To do that, the person tries to get other people to think that they have a good reason for believing that the claim is true, even if that isn't the case. They normally have to persuade people who don't have the same motive, people who only want to believe the claim if it really is true. That's the reason that scrutiny suppressors don't say, "My claims have no basis, but please believe them anyway," even though that's what they really mean most of the time. They would be less effective at getting their own way if they did that. So if you assume that anyone doing scrutiny suppression has never given you a good reason to believe what they're claiming, you'll have defeated the purpose of the suppression. You don't have to be 100% certain that there isn't a good reason to believe the claim to do this, just as we don't have to be 100% certain that somebody refusing an alcohol test has been drunk driving. Of course, scrutiny suppression doesn't automatically make a claim false. If you have a good reason to believe the claim, independent of the fact that the scrutiny suppressor has made the claim, then the suppression doesn't take that reason away. But the suppressor hasn't given you good reason to believe the claim that you didn't already have. The more people who understand this and put this into effect, the less effective that scrutiny suppression will be. This will make it much harder for people to get away with tricking people into believing things that aren't true and help to make the world a better place for everyone. Do you want to help to spread the understanding of how to deal with scrutiny suppressors? Use the term scrutiny suppression in conversation, share this series of videos as widely as possible, and don't forget to leave a comment and like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one.